Saxon 53A is a review lesson on unit multipliers. Now, a couple of things I want to point out about this. Unit multipliers and the way Saxon teaches unit multipliers is extremely valuable in other areas as well. In science, for physics, whenever you're working with any dynamics of any type, being able to convert from one unit to another without having to know or understand which one is larger is very, very important. And I know there are other methods of teaching unit conversion. However, this method to me is the most straightforward and just works. And when as a student and when you're working with these type of problems, having a method that just works every single time is a lot better than having to think about, oh, okay, I'm converting from a larger to smaller or smaller to larger, so I'm multiplying or I'm dividing. This sets it up using just normal algebraic steps and allows you to have a unit conversion that works every single time that you use these steps. Let me show you just here. I wrote down, for instance, 12 inches equals 1 foot. And we know that all the way back from elementary. You had to memorize 12 inches is 1 foot, 3 feet is 1 yard. And you had all that memorization. Because these are equal, 1 foot divided by 12 inches is just 1. And 12 inches divided by 1 foot is 1. So whenever I'm multiplying by a unit multiplier like this, a conversion, I'm really just saying this is multiplying by 1 and so is this. And you'll see how this works out. Convert 60 miles per hour into feet per second. And when I do this, and I'm going to go ahead and follow along on this, I'm using 60 miles per. Per is a word that means divided by. So 60 miles over every 1 hour into feet for every 1 second. So I'm converting, and I would suggest that you do it this way until you become really familiar with it. If you've never seen this method before, I would suggest that you go ahead and write down each one of your steps. 60 miles per hour, and you want to convert into feet per second. I use an arrow because I'm going one to the other. I'm trying to convert it. I start writing down things I know. 1 hour is 60 minutes. 1 minute, 60 seconds, 1 mile, 5,280 feet. And sometimes when you're doing these, you write down more than you know, or you need to know. 1760 yards is 1 mile and 12 inches is 1 foot. And then I just start using the fractions. So I go ahead and rewrite the 60 miles per hour down here to the left. I want to convert. I want to get rid of miles, I want to get rid of hours. I could multiply this by 1 mile over 5,280 or 5,280 over 1 mile. But I want the miles to cancel, so I put the miles on the bottom. This is the unit multiplier is going to be 5,280 feet is 1 mile. They're equal to each other. So I could write either one, just like I did this, either one on top. It doesn't make a difference for it to being multiplied by 1. However, in order to get my units to cancel, I put a mile in the denominator. The next thing is I want to get rid of hours. Well, hours, in order to cancel hours, I need an hour in on the top of the fraction here, in the numerator. And so I'm going to say 1 hour is 60 minutes. Notice this is just still multiplication by 1. Then I do 1 minute is 60 seconds. That's because I want to cancel these. If I just multiplied this, 60 times 5,280, I get 316,800. Yes, I know I can start canceling some stuff, but I went ahead and put it this way just because most of us, when it comes to a calculator, we just stick it in and we come up with an answer. We don't even think about it. So, and I do 60 times 60 and get 3,600. Now I have these two on top, and then I went ahead and rewrote my units. Miles, feet, hours, minutes. Hours, miles, minutes, seconds. Those are just from here. Feet, hour, minute. Mile, minute, second. Then I look at this and realize that these can cancel or begin to cancel out appropriately. So miles can cancel, right? Hours can cancel. Minutes can cancel. My units that are left over are feet and seconds, and that's what I was trying to get to. So feet per second. If I did this 3,000 or 316,800 divided by 3,600, I could start crossing out some zeros here. 3,168 divided by 36 is 88. And so my answer is 88 feet per second. And it's literally that easy. And this works even when you're converting things that you normally would not know which is bigger. For instance, many times in metric, when we're converting from English and metric measurements, and I were to have a conversion factor that I wouldn't have memorized, but knowing which one is bigger and smaller to divide or multiply gets really confusing. So, for instance, if I was working in a mass measurement in metric, that would be a kilogram, whereas a mass metric in the English measurement is slugs. And so when I convert those two, I don't think about which one's bigger. I don't have to remember. All I need to do is look up a conversion factor and allow my fractions to work their way through. This will save you countless hours of multiply, subdivide, I don't remember. Just allow yourself to just kind of get into the mindset of, if I can write it as a fraction that cancels all my units, it just works. And then I stick it in the calculator, it comes up with 88 feet per second in this case, and it works every time.